Hello, good afternoon. It is the Daily Live Extra, me and Ned. The big story today is obviously Farhad Moshiri spoke to the Fab earlier this week. The details, the very scarce details from that were published last night. There wasn't really much in it other than there was stuff said that can't be made public. You know, it's very much discussions between the group and the leaders of the club and Farhad Moshiri. The principal thing that came out of it was that Farhad Moshiri can't really say anything till the 31st of May or certainly the 1st of June because of this agreement with 777. And he said there'd been a couple of or some unsolicited offers for the football club. Whether there's anything in them, again, we won't know till the 1st of June or 31st of May. So now it's a waiting game, but this was a meeting I think a few people built up in their heads like it was going to be, like we were going to get all kinds of
revelations.
Yeah, like we were going to get all kinds of details from them. I mean, first of all, it wasn't a face-to-face meeting. It was a Zoom meeting because Farhad Moshiri is not in the country. But now, on the 777 thing, there's not much he can say because we are locked until the 31st of May.
Yeah.
Which is...
That's just factual.
Well, it's just facts, just life, just facts. But there's not much we can say. So there's not much he can say about that. I mean, that felt a little bit odd when that came out anyway, a week ago.
Did he explain? Well, I clearly didn't, but it would have been nice for him to explain why he agreed an extension with 777 because it just looks like we're just going to be waiting that time and then talking to other serious buyers if there are any. I just don't understand because even at the time of the extension, they looked so unlikely that they were in any position to buy a football club. They're having to sell a football club at the moment.
I suppose if they put money in at the beginning of the month, that has kept Everton ticking over, then that probably, I imagine, will be part of the deal without obviously knowing it concrete. So we'll have to, we will have to wait. I just, I think we all know that Farhad Moshiri's communication has been so poor with Everton fans. The way he's done. I mean, this is something we've spoke about for probably 6 years, isn't it? Like, going on Talk Sport, not doing interviews. His interview that he did with the Fab last year with Jazz, which felt like they weren't even in the same room, but Jazz did assure everyone and did assure me that, he was actually with him. It just felt like he wasn't there because just the way it was all structured.
It is the way it was edited.
The lighting and everything didn't even look the same, did it? That's something we spoke about.
The gap between camera cuts and stuff was just... It made it look so, not live. Where it should have been... there's little details that nobody really... You overlap camera cuts.
Yeah, it was like one... I could film myself here right now and I could have someone film another person in Australia.
3 seconds later.
And all you do is just...
really interesting.
Yeah. Like you and Frank Lampard and Baz.
Yeah. Exactly.
Although they were in the same room, it's just that the camera
One of the cameras just broke.
It just broke. It just randomly broke. And Baz had to redo some of the questions to make sure that it was done properly.
But you'd never know.
Well, there you go. That's the beauty of editing, which is a skill. It's a very good skill. It's just Ned doesn't have it. So, yeah, I mean, it's something definitely he has to... I mean, it's a bit late in the game now. I appreciate that. It is a bit late in the game now. It's something we spoke about for many years, but I think it's very, very crucial. Certainly a week tomorrow, or a week today even, depending on the way you look at it, that he has to be really, really straight and honest with this fan base because it's going through really tough times. Every day we're talking about players, we're talking about who might be sold, who might stay, is there an order they might go in. Every day there's something else, and the anxiety. When there's nothing filling the void, newspapers and speculation will fill the void for that. And I think the owner He's give this date now. If he's give this date, the end of the month, 1st of June, whatever you want. He's give this date that feels like a really important moment for Everton going forward. It feels like that's the day the door opens. 777 are dead, aren't they? They're dead. It looks like there's going to be some restructuring within their own company to see whether they're salvageable. So there's no way they can become our owners. They're dead in the water. The clubs they own are going to be sold by the looks of it. So the end of next week feels like a really important moment, and I think he has to be very, very vocal about, to the fan base, whether it's through the Fab or through Everton's own channels, about how we are moving forward and what happens. What are the scenarios if he can't find a buyer, or he doesn't find a buyer straight away? What does the summer look like? Is he going to put his hand in his pocket and make sure that Everton? No, like there's an argument to be made about, do Everton need to sell people by the end of June, say, for PSR? But what if the manager wants players? What if the manager wants players and it's not based on us selling someone, or we want to keep someone? Do you know what I mean? There's got to be communication about how we move forward.
I think that's the main issue that people have, or not issue, but a worry that these, the deals don't go through. There's no other potential buyers, and I think mainly it's because 777 have been keeping the lights on the past few months. What happens if they go? Is Moshiri? If Moshiri had the money, then why hasn't he been putting the money in? Whether it's just really clever business by Moshiri, I don't know. But we all know that a certain oligarch was the one who was really providing, the money, and was eventually probably going to provide most of the money. That hasn't happened. So maybe Moshiri was never meant to be in this position. Maybe Moshiri's not financially stable enough or sustainable enough to be in this position where he has to keep the lights on at Everton Football Club. So I think that's the main worry. But if we just know that regardless of what happens, we're going to be okay. If he says himself that he'll fund the football club, which I think he has before in the past, then I think people will be a lot more relaxed, because it's our last season at Goodison and we're entering a big brand new stadium. So it's a big time, and it'll be a big transition for the football club. The last thing we want to happen in that period is to enter administration or any other financial situation. We've already had points deducted this season, which brought us closer than we should have been to a relegation battle, and we don't want that to happen again. So I just think people want to know that we're more likely to move away from the situation rather than get deeper into it.
Yeah, I think that's where, and that's where he has to come in now, because he is the owner, and for the last year he has obviously got away with it, because for all intents and purposes he was selling the football club to somebody, though he'd found an owner, a new owner to come in. They pay the bills, because ultimately that debt would be turned into equity. So he didn't really have to pay, but it's left us in this position where it has fallen through. Ultimately, there's a lot of debt, and someone is accountable, and he is the one who's accountable. It's as simple as that. He is the one, and he has said a few times that he will step up. He will do what he's supposed to do, because he is the owner of our football club, and he has to get on with it. So big situation coming up. As I said, I don't know what I was expecting from this meeting, to be honest. I don't know whether I was expecting more to come out of it, or some kind of just dialogue that would sort of give us an indication of where we were going as a football club. I think he's played it really, really safe. I also find it a little bit. I don't know whether I'm right in this, but I also find the fact that I also find it strange that what was said was allowed to be kept between the people. The old Chatham House rules. I find it a little bit weird that it was allowed to be kept amongst the people who were on it, because it is the Fab, and I'm not having a go at anyone from the Fab here. The Fab are representing Everton fans, and for us to not actually know what got said is also a little bit weird. Like, the people in the interview were in the meeting were obviously privy to what was being said, and I don't mean like if there was anything like legal that got said, then I understand that. But I also find, like, I find it weird that there's no like minutes from it. I think all of it really should be available to us.
It should be recorded
as a fan base. I think it should all be available to us, and obviously net like, I think the transcript should be available to us. Maybe not the sound or the pictures, but I think as a fan base we deserve to know what was said in that meeting.
Yeah,
because what are the Fab are just an extension of the fan base at the end of the day, aren't they? They're an extension of us. There are people who've put themselves in that key position. I appreciate that, and they're doing a good job. Holding Farhad Moshiri to his feet to the fire, but I do find it slightly strange that what was said is allowed to be kept behind closed doors, because what's the actual point of that? I don't quite understand what the actual point of keeping it secret is.
Whether it's just some things are kept confidential, but it's said to the Fab so they can at least reassure us that they've got the confidence in the owner. I don't know, but really, you represent a fan base. You know that everything that he said is towards the fans. So really, what it should have been, not a press conference, but like where Jazz had his interview with Moshiri, that interview was for the whole fan base. Telling us that we're going to sign a striker, and ultimately we didn't. But he wasn't sitting down and telling Jazz everything's going to be okay. He was sitting down and telling everything that the fan base wanted to hear. And really, that should have been done, in my opinion. The same with the latest Fab interview.
No, that's what I'm saying. These things have got to change as we go forward, whether it's with Moshiri or with a new owner. These things have got to change. If there's dialogue with the manager, with the owner.
Even with the manager, I don't think they do enough with
no, I know. But
that's a different.
That's a different thing. But if there's dialogue with them, that dialogue should be available to everyone, to every fan, because ultimately they are representing us in the room. And as I said, there might be things that were said in there that, of course, might be legal binding stuff that can't come out of it. But for basically the only thing to come out of the meeting, like we've got no idea what was asked, never mind what was said. And for the only thing to come out of it was, we won't know anything till the 31st or the 1st. And he's had a couple of unsolicited bids. I would like to know more than that as a fan. And I'm quite calm. There'll be people out there who are really worried about the situation, and I know there's people who are really worried about the situation because I see it in the comments every day how worried some people are about it. So be interesting to see what your opinions are on the situation. But yeah, we probably just got to wait another week, haven't we? We've got to wait another week, and then I think obviously next week, get through next week, and then the week after, I think if things don't start being said publicly to the fan base, I think the fan base has to start putting a little bit of pressure on Moshiri and the football club to come out and explain what's going on and what the process is going forward. I think that's vitally important. I think it really is important.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of people are just worried about the situation with the ownership now. It's gone on for months, and I think the fact that they haven't been accepted after months of investigations, if any other potential buyers were popped up, a good owner would listen to them. I know they've had some sort of exclusivity deal, but it's gone on for way too long now. I just think people want to get into the last season at Goodison Park, and just the only thing that should be worried about, and not really you want to be worried about, but the only thing that should be on your mind is the football and what's happening on the pitch. And getting better as a football team and what players you're going to sign. It shouldn't be about what's going on above. And as soon as you get ownership sorted, and then we can get a board in place, and all that stuff becomes a lot better anyway.
Well, I just think that obviously, June, May still feels very much like this season. But as soon as you get into June, you're looking forward to next season. Yeah. I know 1st of July is really technically the start of next season, but once you get into June, and obviously those Euros as well, people will suddenly be thinking, right, where are our players? Because you see everyone else. I've seen it this week. I've seen this team is going for that player, and the movements. All right, not actual play, but you were seeing the managerial merry-go-round is starting, isn't it? We're seeing that.
Might start seeing a few more.
So once we start see that, we'll start seeing a few players move round. And it worries people. It worries people when your club are not doing things and other clubs are. Now, don't get me wrong. It's the same every year. People go a little bit over the top about things. They see rumours and they see 1 or 2 players, and the next minute it's, why haven't we? Let's be honest, Everton, other than free transfers, it probably will be late July, early August that Everton start to bring players in. But
they have to get players out ASAP, really.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
So the question, that's where the worry comes in. And if you manage, we need our ownership situation sorted so we can start doing that, so the manager can start planning, start looking at the whole picture. And that's why a clear line of communication with the owner is so important. As I said, as we move forward. So, like to hear people's thoughts on that. And if you want to add anything to it, please feel free. Please feel free, because there's not loads going on today. I must admit, it is that very quiet part. Newcastle United got beat 8-0. That's good.
In a friendly,
they went all the way to Australia and played the Australian All Stars. It was a gang of kids.
Oh.
But what I will say, they've played the Australian A All Stars and have been beaten 8-0. And if you're a Newcastle fan, how ripped off would you feel?
Though if those teams are both in Europe next year, I don't want to hear them moan about fixtures at all, because they finished the season and gone straight to Australia, playing numerous friendlies. Players are picking up injuries. They played the first team the other day. Player who's playing the Euros has gone off injured, apparently. I don't want to hear them moan about fixtures or anything next year.
Okay. Ned's laid it down there. He does not want to hear it. Put that as a headline.
Be fuming.
I don't want to hear it, says Ned. Yeah, they got beat 8-0.
Can I ask all season and they go to play friendlies in a country and get beat? How's that enjoyable? How's that good for PR? Just playing your kids.
Well, they've just got a load of money to play one sort of competitive game. Didn't they finish like 4-4 or something? Yeah. And then they've played literally all the kids in another game, which is would have been like the glamour tie, wouldn't it?
Which is probably kind of disrespectful.
Didn't we play Australian All Stars or something when we played there last year? But we played
a proper team, didn't
we? We played quite a strong team, no, didn't we, against them? And
won 5-1 or something.
It ended up like that. We respected the process.
Yeah, we played our first team. We gave them a little bit of a break first.
We respected the process.
We played Mope.
There you go. Let's have a look at some of the comments over on Toffee TV Premier. Gary Wood says, hardy. There we go. John says, is there anyone there? Yeah, there is. Hello, John. John B95, who I don't believe is the actual John Blaine, says, more chance of Baz eating an orange club than Farah communicating with us. He also says, Gary Ward, Barry Orn song. Gary Ward. Yeah. I think John Blaine and John Blaine's lawyers will be in touch shortly. Unless it's just another John B, and they've just put that to me looks like John Blaine. No, Alex EFC says afternoon. Following on from round the tower, if Dom stays, but we can shift Beto, moving Chimiti to number 2 striker, would you like? I've got to adjust my eyes to see this. George Lechenhenne from Royal Antwerp to be 3rd choice. Only 18 in August. Powerful striker. Scored every other game in terms of minutes this season. Alex, I'm just going to say yeah. I'm going to say he sounds amazing. He sounds like the great... Check, that's a real person.
Definitely like...
Check, that's a real
George.
Person. So I don't sound stupid.
Who does he play? FC Antwerp.
George Just put George Lenlk. He's amazing. What a player. I first spotted him when he was playing for Royal Antwerp under 13s in a game against Genk. And I was impressed straight away by the player. He was amazing.
No, I've never heard of him, and I can't find him. But regardless of who this person is, I think if you sell Beto, if there's some way we can get money. It depends how they value him.
We're not selling him unless we get money for him.
We can get, as a thing, you got to have some sort of link-up play to play as a striker in the Premier League, and he's got absolutely no ability of that. Yeah. I think if Dominic Calvert-Lewin stays, it's a tough one. He's got a year left, isn't it? And I think if you sell if Dominic Calvert-Lewin sign a contract, you'd sell him for me. But then you have to bring one in, because at the moment, I don't think Beto's good enough to rely on at the moment to play up front for our team, to be our first team striker. And the reason why I think it's too much of a risk is because I don't think there's enough goals in the rest of the team to support him playing up front. Because I think his best return is like 10 goals in another league. If he gets a few, there's no reason why he can't, apart from the fact that we don't create very good chances. If he gets a few, then great. But if you're really hoping that he scores a lot of goals and he doesn't, there's not enough goals in the rest of our team to suggest that we'll be a decent enough goal scoring team that can get us where we need to be in the Premier League. And you don't score enough goals, you're not going to win games. You don't win games, you end up at the bottom of the Premier League. That's just science. That's like Michael Owen science. So I think we need to go and get someone who's a bit more Premier League savvy. Even in terms of scoring goals, if we do get other players who scores goals and number 10 or wingers, I think just having a striker who is better on the ball, better link-up play, better at holding the ball, just means you've got a better shape as a team. Will mean you can probably get through games a bit better. And I think, personally, we look better as a team with Schmidt up front than Beto. I think the problem with Beto is he just loses the ball a bit too much, doesn't hold it, doesn't link up with other players. So even maybe someone getting someone a bit more Premier League savvy and probably has got a past history of scoring goals in the Premier League, it's probably going to be Chris Wood, isn't it? Manager knows how to do it.
I can't imagine.
But then again, I can't imagine
it's going to be Chris
Wood and Decore as a 2. I think you've got to go and get a better number 10, and hopefully that would solve the situation of losing a Decore and there's no other option. So for me, getting a number 10's huge for me as much as getting wingers in this summer. And then you do have to sort that striker situation out, because I wouldn't be having Calvert-Lewin stay for the year and leave on a free. I don't think it's worth us losing 15 million. I don't think his goal return next season will be worth us losing a potential 15 million that we might get for him, if not more. So I'd be looking to sell Dominic Calvert-Lewin if he doesn't sign a contract and getting a better striker in. Yeah.
I don't know.
But George Lenlk,
yeah,
sounds great. Yeah, get him.
He does.
Get him.
He is a real person.
I've watched him before.
I first saw him when he was in Nigeria at 3, playing against other Nigerian teams.
I've got a kit with him on it. I saw an article in the Echo about him saying he was about to make his debut. I saw an article about him in the Nigerian Star about him. I saw an interview when he was born saying this kid's.
I saw his birth certificate in the local paper.
I watched him be conceived on a video online.
See, I knew you were gonna say that, and yet it was somehow still funny.
His dad's a plumber. You stuck?
Oh dear! Thank God it's Friday. Mike says, has he met with the Fab this week like he was meant to? Yeah, he has, Mike. He has, Mike, as we said. Rich Parry says, with all the due diligence complete recently by 777, anyone coming in next will be able to fast track the process due to having everything in hand. So fingers crossed we move quickly. Do you think having someone working on a deal will stop transfer plans? That's a good question, isn't it, Rich? Because we don't know. ultimately what we need to buy people. Like, obviously, we don't know what we need. They obviously do. I hope. We don't know that, do we? We don't know what we need, what cash we have in the club. We might already be working on deals that we like, that are free transfers or loans or nothing down this year. We might be already working on that. And if we're working on that and feel like we can do all right, and then someone comes in and the process, not fast-tracked, but they're very, very confident and they get the big thumbs up from the Premier League straight away. And it's like just a process now of like, it'll be done in 3 months, but there'll be no issues. Then those people might say, here's some money and go and buy some players or whatever it is, sort out some contracts. But we won't know it because we don't know the actual details, do we, of what we need. Brian McCarthy says Andy Bell has cashed in some of his AJ Bell shares. I think Andy Bell would have to cash in quite a lot of his AJ Bell shares if he wanted to actually own Everton. So again, I can't sort of say whether that's to help Everton or not, but maybe it is. Maybe he's going to be part of a consortium and he's getting his end of the deal sorted, and that means he'll be the chairman or the CEO or something. But again, I have no idea, because that kind of stuff is you're only going to know that if you're really in the room. We can speculate. We can say, well, he's an Evertonian and he's part of the deal and he's MSP and all these kind of things. But we just don't know, do we, at the end of the day? Kane says, hello, Jim. Baz going back on holiday will mean something good will happen to us after him missing our unbeaten run. That's all we can really hope for, Kane, isn't it? That's all we just... Yeah. I've heard there's some breaking news, by the way.
Been asked to play Goodison.
Breaking news, Kane Forshaw is apparently signed up for the Everton All-Star team.
Playing for us.
Which will be playing against Talking Toffees a week tomorrow at Widnes Stadium.
You can come on for me when I'm knackered after 70 minutes.
Oh, that shot's fired, Kane. You can come on for him.
Where do you play, Kane?
Oh, that shot's fired.
Play midfield with me.
Who's saying you're starting?
I'm starting. Of course I'm starting. Don't be silly. Of course I'm starting.
I'm not being funny, but I will. At the moment, I've been quite quiet about this, but I might have to start throwing my weight round, because I can just throw my weight round and get these things sorted.
We'll just shove you up front. Yeah, you stand up for us.
If I wanted to, I could put my big boy pants on and kick up a fuss here. So
you're not allowed to.
Well, there you go, Kane. I mean, he's saying that you'll be sub.
No, of course he won't be sub.
That's what's just broke
Me
there.
and Kane will be like Xavi and Iniesta in midfield.
I don't think you will.
All right, me and Kane will be like Barry Orr and Joe Parkinson in midfield.
Okay, fair play.
We won't even talk to each other. We'll just look at each other and we'll be like,
maybe he'll play up front with me and we'll be like York and Cole.
Yeah, and I'll be like nicking the ball back and playing it into you.
And be like, just that look like that.
Oh, we had one. You should have seen Ped. We were playing. I was in midfield and Ped was number 10. And I nicked the ball in midfield and I broke through.
I don't know where this is going.
I had Ped there running that way, dragging a centre half out. And then the other striker dragging a centre half there. Could have ran through the space. Thought, I'll play Ped in behind. Play the ball straight to their centre half. Oh, shit. Should have just ran into the space. I'd lower the time as well. But play a little ball straight to the centre half.
Yeah, fair play.
Great.
Gareth Hughes says, got my Aussie release date home next Wednesday. Will be exactly 100 days in here. Seriously think Toffee TV helped stop me going insane. Is right, Gareth. Gareth has gone through hell and back in the last near 100 days. His legs resemble matchsticks now. They really do. He's had a terrible time, and it's fantastic that you'll finally. I don't even know how you spent that long in a hospital. And
get it when you're able, Gareth. Get in here, get your ass in here, and you can tell us your story.
Yeah, it's he had a really bad, like, what was it, like a blood infection, wasn't it, or something? So really, really bad. So it's great to see you going home, and how you coped in that hospital with everything going on at Everton as well is just incredible. Incredible.
Fair play to his missus as well for basically saving his life.
Okay. Fair play. Let's have a little refresh of the. Where are you? Anthony Stubbs says he is real, Ped. 8 goals this season. Yeah, I know he's real. He's just real as the sun in the sky. Mark Mack says they have red hair and they don't, and we don't care. Ped and Neddy, we need some chance after Toffee TV presenters. I don't have red hair. I have no red hair.
You're just like
red is
horizon.
I'd point at something that was red, but we haven't got anything red in here apart from Neville Southall's jersey. There's no red. Our hair's not red. Our hair is. If you're gonna compare it to a colour, surely it's orange.
Yeah, I heard someone say that ginger is a derogatory term for a redhead. Like,
well,
really.
Redhead's a derogatory term for a ginger.
Yeah, I'm not red.
Why is it our hair colour is literally the only hair colour that you can give shit to people about? Like, it's so weird.
Our hair isn't the same colour though.
No, because I'm older than you. Mine's lost. Mine was never that colour. Mine was never your colour. But I don't get how ginger people are still fair game in this world.
I love my hair.
In this world, no, but in this world that we live in, why are we still fair game? Why can people just put in the comments, "You fucking ginger now, bed"? It's like, yeah. I'm not even allowed to call you anything now. If you're overweight, I'm not allowed to call you a bastard.
Fatty bum bum.
You know, I'm not allowed to call you out by how you look, because that's not nice. That's not the modern world. And yet you can call me. Go on, what?
I never called you ginger.
Not you. I'm talking about the.
I call you a fat bitch.
You are. You are
skinny.
You are. Oh my god.
Chris said. Literally, I left my shirt up to do this yesterday at footy, and Chris said, "You need to get in shape. You do some sit-ups." Bloody hell, Chris! I've got a bit of a gut now. I'm ginger.
We're the only ones left. We're the only ones left.
Yeah, but we can take it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we can take it.
Yeah, we can.
And when I give it back, they're like,
I can.
I'm horrible when I want to be. I just choose not to be. I don't want to get cancelled.
I am very, very horrible when I want to be. I could take people down with the wit in my tongue if I really need to.
I've never told you this because I'm getting sacked. I'm not going to tell you now, but something.
Don't tell me
no, I'm not going to tell you on air, of course not. But a video of me being very horrible about a year ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, and I was about 21, showing up on Facebook once, and I had to get it removed for the sake of me getting sacked or cancelled from gigs and social media because I was being very horrible on it.
Oh no, I mean, if there was a day where I just thought, I've got the money to retire now. Oh, the words, the things that I could
speak my mind.
I mean, a lot of people believe I do think my mind, but honest to God, I don't. I honestly don't. I go about 5% of the things that
the stuff we say off air is only about 30% of my mind, and the stuff we say off air, Jesus,
not about people, just in general,
about each other,
just about Ned. That's fine. It's all good jest. Ruse, nice to see you back in the chat, my friend. Where have you been? He said, just catching up on shows from the other day. I'm still here, mate. Just got a brand new toffee. Brand new toffee called Archie. Is that a puppy, you mean? Or is it a child? Because you've put, I've just got a brand new toffee. I don't know whether that's a dog, a cat, or a child.
Maybe he meant brand new dog called Toffee, but forgot the dog called.
But what if he means I've got a brand new toffee, as in like my child I've got a new Evertonian. But I think that might be a dog. And my schedule is all over the place. No, but it won't be Still watch every show, just a couple of days behind at the moment. But we both love listening to you guys. We both see, that sounds like a child. No, I don't know. Rouge, you need to tell me. You guys all the time. All hours, so thank you. Rouge, it was more because you haven't messaged me for ages asking for podcasts to be uploaded. So that means we're doing a good job with the podcasts. Which a lot of people do I listen to, and we had some unbelievable numbers for our podcast this month. I won't reveal them, but we did have some unbelievable numbers for our podcast that are available. We upload every show that we do on YouTube as a podcast, And we've had some unbelievable. So a lot of people are maybe not watching us all the time, but are choosing to listen to the podcasts. Of course, if you were on Toffee TV Premier, you get every show as a podcast, and they're free of adverts. So that's a good reason to sign up to Toffee TV Premier. I mean, if you needed any more reasons to sign up to Toffee TV Premier other than you just get more shows, which is amazing. Steve Kelly says, all right, lads, hope you're both well. Another very interesting day hearing the life of Ned yesterday. I'm surprised Kane is playing if it's not at Goodison or Reading Stadium. Well, yeah, Steve Kelly, you were in the room yesterday and you got, again, a snapshot of Ned's life, which... I mean, you've been in here quite regularly,
I have a great.
So to be surprised once again at Ned and being in the presence of him,
I'm enjoying life, and that's all.
Good,
matters.
Good for you. Good for you. Other people just, I think what it is because Steve is like a man of a certain age with a child and a wife and all that kind of thing. When he hears your life, he feels like he's missed out somewhat on his youth. Just didn't.
Oh, Steve's had it.
No, but I think Steve, even though he had probably had cracking life and lived in Australia and stuff, he hears the stories of your life and feels like somewhat he has missed out on what could have been. Basically, he's like, I mean, my youth was good, but Ned's life, oh my God.
Yeah.
To have the same clothes every Thursday ready for me.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Shame I can't wear them next week.
Why can't you wear them next week?
We're wearing amber and black.
Oh, you mean for that game?
Yeah.
No, but that's not Thursday, so it's fine.
I can wear them Thursday.
On Thursday, you can wear your gear.
I probably won't play footy Thursday. I want to be
No,
fit
just to be ready, yeah. Yeah, fair play. No, you're absolutely right to hear Kane not want... Kane played at Goodison yesterday and is obviously a massive admirer of Reading Stadium. Yeah, and Skem Stadium as well, apparently. Paul Carroll says he's so real. He's been spotted at the ATM on County Road with Rakelme. Yeah, but we don't really get them spotted there anymore. Paul, is a question for you, and I'm just being nosy, yeah, and it's got nothing to do with Everton. It sort of does. It's got something to do with Everton for you. When does that new Isle of Man terminal open? I was watching a Mr. Drone video on it last night, and it was like his last ever video there.
Do you know what's mad about the Isle of Man as well? It's so small. I met two people from Isle of Man last weekend, and I said, do you know Paul Callow? And they went, it rings a bell. We're on the Facebook, and they knew him. It's that small, Isle of Man. They literally all know each other. I can't remember the names though, otherwise I'd ask Paul if he knew them back. I assume he does.
Yeah. Paul, when's it open? I'm just... by the way, I've got no interest in coming to the Isle of Man, no disrespect. It looks like the most boring place on earth.
Oh, you can't say that. They've got...
Has it got a theme park?
Got an airport, have they?
Yeah, it's got an airport.
It's got an airport. You can watch planes.
You can watch planes. I could go down the road and watch planes. I could go to Manchester and watch planes. I don't need to get on a boat to go to the Isle of Man to watch planes.
That's some of the stuff they get up to.
Okay.
Great.
Well, you do have the TTs, but if your idea of watching a bike go... and then going to pick up any bodies you find in the street, which I find also incredible that people just die there every single year and bodies are just left in the road because they're in the middle of nowhere and people continue to go back. It's mad. It's true though.
I don't think you can say that now.
I can't say that.
I don't think you can say that.
I can say it. I can say it. People die there every single year.
People die everywhere.
Do they? Yeah. Where were you when these deaths happened?
If I tell you that, then I'll be in big trouble.
So Paul, let me know. Brandon says, a couple of kids got ripped on plenty for having some grey hairs. Ripped on him, or ripped on you for having a couple of hairs growing back in the hair school days, if that helps you feel less singled out. Not really, Brandon, because... Yeah, I get
Brandon,
that.
Grey hair shows wisdom.
No, grey hair is like if old people, and if a young person's got it, I get that. And it isn't like I appreciate. I do get that. And young grey hair isn't old people. I've got grey in my beard, and I when I first came in, I was a bit like, oh, I don't like that. You can't really see it because my hair, because of the colour of my hair, because I'm ginger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I see. See, that's the other thing about having ginger hair. You have, like, if you want facial hair, it has to be quite thick, doesn't it? For it to show. Do you know what I mean? And it can look like scraggledy and you look like a bit of a pirate.
Is mine thick?
Yeah, of course it's thick. No, what I mean is we can't have, like, a stubble because you just can't see it. It's the same colour as that. No, like, if you got black hair.
I've had a piratey stubble.
No, but if you've got black hair, right, you can have just stubble.
And you could see it.
And you can see it. It's a beard, like George Michael and stuff. We have to have a thick beard for it to show as a beard. And
That's
then
true.
And then it gets scraggly really quickly. So
yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to maintain it all the time, or not maintain it as it is. But I feel your pain. Sarah says, I can't imagine Ned ever being horrible. Never ever. Reckon Ped can. Bet you can't suffer fools off here. Ned can be horrible. It's just that
I'm just not horrible to the ego.
It's just that I'm his boss. So he can't be horrible. Because obviously I'll just kick him up the arse.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be, one thing I never am is unfair. I'm never unfair.
See, I'm ridiculously unfair. I would just cut you down. I would cut you at your knees. I would cut you where you stand. And Ned, to be fair, has been on the end of some of my tongue lashings. Like, if I want something done, I want something done. And if it ain't done, someone's getting it.
It's all part of the game, man.
But what winds me about Ned is, right, genuinely, like, told you this story, last Friday, I'm driving home. And I'm thinking, when a light bulb goes off in your head, and I'm thinking something. It's like, honestly, it was like
that was the light
it was like Home Alone
time.
on the plane, right? I'm thinking something's not right here. What is it? And I literally pulled over and I checked the videos, and the match preview hadn't gone out.
I have that feeling every day, and
the match preview hadn't gone out, so I was like, Kevin! But Ned, so I rung Ned and went, "Where's the match preview?" Now we'd been together 5 minutes earlier. Where's the match preview? Oh, I don't know. So I had to ring. I
genuinely forgot we'd done it because
I just went. You fucking dickhead. Put the phone down. I had to ring Baz. When are you still in the studio? No, I'm on my way home. So Baz had to come back and sort it out. And no, like apology or anything. No, like sorry, lads, my bad there.
I genuinely I was doing Everton released the contract stuff, so when they were doing the preview, I was doing the contract stuff. So I genuinely forgot we'd done the preview.
So Ned,
but normally I'm like, done.
Right, Ned, but the reason why I can't be harsh on him is because Ned genuinely has got ADHD. He genuinely has got ADHD. I'm not even messing. It's not even a character trait. He's genuinely got ADHD and needs to go and get tested for it. So that he can go. So anytime he's a knobhead, and this is what's mad is, anytime he's a knobhead, he can go, "I've got ADHD, lads. What? You can't have a go at me," and he won't. It's mad, but I know he's got ADHD because I know the signs of ADHD, and I know how it works, and I know that you get easily distracted from whatever you're doing. And if you're doing one thing, you completely forget to do another thing. But while you're doing one thing, you get completely distracted and start doing something else and forget to go back to it. So, and he won't go and go to the doctors and get it sorted. It's ridiculous. You could get all kinds of stuff as well if you had it. You could get on medication to sort it out.
Do you get like discounts and stuff?
Yeah, discounts in Asda.
Do you actually?
Get discount in the cinema.
Really?
Yeah, you do.
Do you get like discounts on clothes and stuff?
No. Why would you get discount on clothes for having ADHD?
Because I need clothes. People keep trying to undress me. So
what?
Like I got ADHD, dickhead.
Oh, brilliant. No, you. I've told you this loads of times. You do need to get sorted out about this.
Yeah. I'll get some.
You do. You get some what?
ADHD tests.
You do need to go and do an ADHD test. Honestly.
Sometimes I'll be gigging,
Yeah.
and I'll be thinking about like the next song.
Yeah. And forget your words.
Looking at a girl or something, and I'll start singing.
No, that's it. It's distraction. You get distracted by my missus does it all the time.
I do get distracted very.
It's like doing something. Oh, there's a bird.
Like, I literally open a tab in work to do something, and I'll go, what have I just opened a tab for?
Mm-hmm. No, it's a real thing, and I know you've got it. And it winds me up that you won't go and get it sorted because it actually impacts on your work.
Who do you see though for ADHD? Your GP.
You go and see your GP, and the problem is it's quite a long process to get seen and get diagnosed.
Oh really?
So like people have said it's like 7 years.
I'll get distracted and forget that I'm diagnosed. And be like,
no,
why did I go to the doctor today?
The thing about it, you've generally got ADHD. It's not a character trait because I can tell. I've worked with you long enough to know that you've got ADHD, and you have to go and get it sorted. And you'd be put on tablets, and the tablets will straighten you out. They put you on and basically what the tablets do is they calm your brain down, and they calm your brain down. So my missus has got it. It's not a stigma. My missus has got ADHD. When she's in work, she takes her tablets, and at the weekend, she doesn't take the tablets, and you can just see the difference. You just completely notice the difference. We used to call it like flicking a switch at like 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Like and by the way, it's not like no one should be. It's not a thing. It's like no one should be like feel like it's a stigma. It's not a stigma having it. Loads of people have it. And loads of people are finding better, but are finding out they've got it, and people who are older and people who thought that they had, who were told they were bad in school and stuff like that, are being told now, no, it's because you had autism or ADHD or even both now, and it really helps. I'm not saying you, but it really helps a lot of people mentally as well, because a lot of people think there's something wrong with them, like they've got thoughts or can't do things in life properly, and that gets them down, and then they get a diagnosis, and it's like. Switch goes, oh my God, I'm actually all right. So, yeah. But also, though, and someone's saying a lot of people have it, don't take medication. But if it affects your life, it affects your work. Ned could go and get a job somewhere that was like, I don't know, the BBC, and his job could be, or he's in a band, he's in a band and he's playing songs. Ned could go and work for the BBC, and this thing could start affecting him, and someone could go, you can't work here anymore. So it is important that people do get these things checked out, by the way. It is important, because especially in this day and age, mental health and all that, people feel like they can't do something. There's a reason why they're struggling in life, and it can be something as simple as having ADHD or autism, and there shouldn't be any stigma about those things. They're just things you're born with, and if you've got that, you've got it. It's as simple as that. My mum thinks I've got ADHD, and she thinks I've got other things as well. She genuinely thinks that. She goes, yeah. You when you were a kid, you did this and you did that.
What, swear a lot?
I did swear a lot, yeah, probably, but I did other things as well. My mum genuinely thinks I've got it, but I don't think I've got it to a point that it affects my work.
Mine's just constant.
Yeah. No, it affects, like, at times I really struggle to look at some people in the eye, and so my nephew's got autism. He's 8 now. He's brilliant. He's so clever, and he's editing videos on his iPad and all this kind of thing. When he was a baby, I knew there was something wrong with him, because he would never look me in the eye as a baby, and I knew there was something wrong with him. And if we found out eventually, because he wasn't developing properly, that he had autism. And once we found out, and he never spoke till he was 4, and now he has an American accent, because all he watches is YouTube, so his accent has come from YouTube. But he's so clever, because he goes to school that meets his needs, and he's getting the right kind of education, and he's so clever, and that's what you find. But you've got it. Not saying about you; it's a bit late in the day for the education side of things. But you find with kids, obviously, if they've got something and you don't diagnose it and they go into a normal school, They're violent. They're not learning at the same rate as other people. They get left behind. And that's what happened to loads of people in my generation, the generation before, is that they went to school, were told they were bad. Then they weren't bad. They had autism or the ADHD, but they didn't call it that then. They called it like...
Or like dyslexia or something.
Yeah, they called it just... Or they just put like a rant...
You're naughty.
They just put one word on it. So... There you go. Good chat. Are you looking up ADHD stuff? Or
No, I'm trying to find shorts on classic football shirt. I don't have any black.
He's trying to find shorts on classic football shirt. There you go.
I'm really worried about
there you go.
Right gear.
There you go. We're playing in a charity game a week tomorrow, right? We're having these conversations, and he's on his phone looking for footy shorts.
I'm sat here panicking, thinking I'm not going to have the right gear for this. And they'll be like, nah, you weren't wrong clothes.
There you go. There's all the proof you need.
On the bench,
we are live. We are live to thousands of people, and he's looking at shorts.
If anybody's got any black Everton shorts.
There you go. This has proved it. This has proved my discussion we've just had. That proves it. I thought he was looking up something for the show, for ADHD.
I just have been for M-Tag.
For the news, whatever. He's looking for shorts. I rest my case, Your Honour. I rest my case. There it is.
You got any black Everton shorts?
Focus.
I don't think they'll fit.
Focus.
So yeah, ADHD. This is a football show, says Martin Edwards. Well, footballers have ADHD too.
This is a football show. I hate it when people say that. I'm sorry. I hate it when people say stuff like that. I'm not being funny, right? It's 5-2 on a Friday and there's no Everton game for 3 months. What do you want us to talk about? We're having a chat. We're having a chat about life and we'll talk about whatever we want.
I got them vintage so I can get some for £2.
Is right. We will have a chat about whatever we want because it's our show.
Oh, there's loads.
Cliff, medication isn't a band-aid. Medication is not a band-aid for things like autism. For things like ADHD and stuff, medication is really important.
Helps you relax, like glasses.
Yeah, don't wear glasses. They're just an aid to help your eyes go better.
Oh, but I was meant to bring him.
I keep on walking.
I've been getting such awful headaches recently.
Cliff, do us a favour. Go and watch something else.
That's well racist.
Go and watch something else.
A ginger. Why is that acceptable?
Yeah, go and watch something else.
I've been getting such bad headaches recently, and looking at the computer like amplifies it, and I get pure migraines. And then I'm dead tired after it. So like I'll get to the end of the night, and I'm like, oh my god! Like last night, I got in bed at midnight. And my eyes were like, oh my god, I was asleep like that, and I woke up at like 11 o'clock today, like really shattered.
Thank you, Jason.
11 hours sleep.
Is right, mate. Thank you, Jason. He says, not being funny, but this chat is so important. If only people felt comfortable enough to talk about it. Is right, Jason. Absolutely. People should be able to talk about their mental health whenever they want.
No, Cameron, you're self-diagnosed autistic. You can't self-diagnose yourself with autism. Because you got OCD. If you think you've got autism, you need to see a doctor. Yeah,
I know there is a medication out there that people do like to use, and if you do use that medication, then that's fine. There's a reason why that medication is banned, and it's because the pharmaceutical companies are terrified of it. Let's be honest. And maybe if a new government get elected, maybe that medication will.
Loon.
No.
Looms.
You genuinely smoke it.
I don't genuinely smoke.
No, you don't genuinely smoke it.
Can't cry.
But people do. Or CB,
Start with C and end with K.
Yeah. I could never because number one, the smell of it is absolutely disgusting.
Oh.
And when you walk past people who do smoke it, oh my god. Wash your clothes, please. You stink. Do you not understand that you all stink?
It's too strong.
Do you not all understand that you all smoke? You stink. You all stink. But I get that people do use that for medication. So, there you go.
I've taken Calms for anxiety. You get them in the hospital.
You should have, if you have any issues like that, what's CBD?
I don't really get anxious anymore.
CBD oil is... No, I just mean just in general. CBD oil's good. Cameron's in the comments. He says, I am 1,000 times autistic and I've been on the waiting list, mate. As Ped says, it's a long, long wait. It is a long, long wait, but you've got to get on that list, haven't you?
You need to get that sorted then. Because like
Jester says, I've been to the clinic this morning for a mental health appointment. No big deal. No, it is.
I'm glad you've been in the clinic.
It isn't. Do you know what?
Huge. That's good.
It isn't. It isn't a big deal. It absolutely isn't a big deal. It's not a big.
So many people have this.
It's not a big deal to talk about your mental health. Not being funny. Ned comes in every day moaning about some kind of part that's hurting him. Right? Every day comes in. I've hurt my leg. I've hurt my knee. I've hurt my ankle. Blah blah blah. I do the same. If I've been for my hips and my knees are weirdly hurting me.
My groin for me.
Are hurting at the moment. I fell down a bloody hill and bashed both my knees, and they're still hurting me. And I'll come in here and I'll go, oh, my knee's killing me, blah, blah, blah. But no one ever comes in and goes, do you know what, lads? God, not really feeling it up here. No one ever does it. No one ever does it anywhere, do they? No one ever does it anywhere, that. Sadly. And we need more of that in the world where you can just walk in and go to your mates and go, or anyone and go, yeah, just don't feel right today. Don't know what it is. Just don't feel right. Whatever it is, you know. Need to be able to do that. More people need to be able to do it. It's important. And there are a lot of things out there, like you're saying, ADHD and autism are on the rise because more people are aware of them now. So, yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy talking. Be honest, the running and exercise, running has really helped me mentally. As a lot of people might have noticed on this channel, being just a lot calmer. Running has helped me massively. Now, obviously, that's not for everyone, but let's remember this time last year, I was heading towards probably 18 stone. I'm 15 stone 10 at the moment. I want to be 15 stone. What's mad is my ideal weight, according to the scale.
So are you 6'4"?
No, I'm 6'2". 6'2". But my ideal weight apparently is like 14 stone. Now it's actually less than 14 stone. Now I've been 14 stone. And I look terrible. Like people, when I was 14 stone, people thought I was ill. That's how bad it looked. So I reckon about 15 stone. I have to get rid of about 10 pounds. And the running is what helps me. Go for a run, stick a podcast on. At the end of it, you feel amazing. For that little whatever, for that, just that moment afterwards, you feel brilliant. So that's really helped me mentally, because a big problem with me was I wanted to exercise. I wanted to run. But I was having that internal battle with myself. You know, that battle to get out the house. Oh, I'm going to go for a run. You convince yourself you're going to go and then you don't. And then that brings you down. So going for running has really, really helped me. It's really, really helped me, that. So, and then you feel better about yourself, and then you can do the other things you enjoy. Like, there's no way I could play footy or play in a footy match. Now I feel really confident I can play in a footy match, because I've got the basic fitness and stuff like that, and you can enjoy that other stuff then, and it really does help. Lionsy65 says, "Hiya lads, I'm back and continue to pay, but was locked out for your shows, but back now. Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you let us know? I've missed you all. Catch up is happening now. I'll be up to date by the start of the season. Why didn't you let us know you were locked out? You've got our numbers." Paul Callow says they've been testing the ferry terminal. Will be opening hopefully after the TT was happening over the next couple of weeks. He also says there's an ongoing joke on the Isle of Man about whether the ferry terminal will be opening before the Everton stadium. Most people's money is Bramley Moor. Where were you chatting to these Manxies, Ned?
From the Isle of Man,
yeah,
in Manchester.
House
party.
There you go, with a house party
for uni.
And they all know you, Paul. Danny says maybe Ned doesn't need a label. It's not about labels. This is not about labels, right? Just going back to it. I couldn't care less about what anyone is, or what anyone is wrong with anyone, or whether people identify as a door. Ned's what if Ned's got what I think he's got, it affects his work, right? Ned is a good worker. He's a good worker. Puts the time into things. You seen with the documentary, did all that. John Blaine pushed him. Me and Baz didn't do anything to do with that 10th anniversary. We had nothing to do with this. It was like a gift off John Blaine and Ned to us, essentially. Me and Baz didn't have anything to do with it, apart from Ned telling us to sit down and film some stuff. We didn't know anything about it. So Ned's a good worker. He's creative, but he gets distracted so easily. And when you're in a room, honest to God, there's so many moving parts in this room, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, honestly.
And because there's only 3 of us, we all have multiple jobs to do.
There's so many moving parts. Think about how many shows we do. We have to convert all those shows into little simple things, like there has to be a YouTube version, there has to be a Premiere version, there has to be a podcast to go out and be a podcast for the world. There has to be a podcast for Premiere. There's stats, there's facts, there's moving the cameras around, moving the lights around. We've got 3 different sets. If things can break, things can suddenly just stop working the way you want them to. There's so many moving parts and there's so many hours in the day, and because we do stuff live and we do shows at certain times, everything's got to be, if some breaking news happens, we have to react to it. Ned's got to do the socials. There's so many moving parts. So what you can't do is get distracted by the most important thing that's happening at that time. There's live stuff. Ned will have to go and edit some stuff as well. There's so many moving parts. And that's why it's important you stay on top of it. You have to stay on top of it and know what you're doing. And you get distracted by something that is out of your control in many ways, then that's going to affect. That could affect Ned. Don't forget, Ned leaves here and then goes, certainly tonight and tomorrow and maybe Monday, I'll have gigs. So he has to travel somewhere. Last Sunday was at Burnley.
3 this weekend.
So he has to travel. He'll be travelling this weekend.
The worst ones when like last weekend, I had 3 gigs on Sunday because there was a long travel and it was with the band and it was sunny and stuff. I was just absolutely goose. Got no sleep Sunday night because my ears are ringing. Come in Monday, coughing up blood in the morning. And I was absolutely shattered and I just can't concentrate. So I'm sat there doing the final word and I'm just like zoned out. I'm just trying to change cameras and I'm just like this, falling asleep. They're the worst ones. So Mondays are not, because Mondays are pretty busy as well. They're the ones where I'm just like, oh. And then I've got footy after it, and that footy. I'm like...
The thing about it is, right, I know a lot of people in the comments about mental health, right? Loads of things can help mental health. Loads can help you. Like people are saying there, whatever you enjoy. Going outside in the sun, that's why it's great when it's sun, the longer days, getting outside, that can all help you, your mental health. But things like ADHD and autism, they're slightly different because they're not really mental health issues as such, as in like the way you feel. They are that's how your brain is wired. It's not really mental health. So you have to, there's not much you can do about that. Like, don't get me wrong, when you're young, I imagine there's things that can help you, education, how you're brought up and stuff like that. But when you're older, like certainly like ADHD, you will need to be on some kind of medication to correct that problem. It's how your brain is wired. That's all it is. It's how you're wired, those things. Ned's wiring is for ADHD, and I've seen this because I've said my wife's got it. It's that distraction part of it. Some of the conversations I have with my missus, and she sends me these like little videos which are funny that explain it. It's like you start talking about one thing and then you start talking about another thing, you start talking about another thing, you start talking about another thing. And that's how I got onto it with Ned. It was like, he's not bad at his job, he just gets so easily distracted. And there is a medication for that. Now, Ned will have a good life. Don't get me wrong. He will have a very, very normal life. Or he'll have the life that whatever he wants to do, he'll do it. If he feels like he needs to be less distracted and it'll make him better, then that's where you talk about having medication. But no one should be forced to have medication. If you're happy with how your life is, then that's not a problem. I'm just talking about like my help Ned to balance him out a little bit. That's all it is, just balancing somebody out. That's all it is. Martin Edwards, do me a favour, mate. Fuck off. Go and watch something else. I couldn't care less. Go and watch something else. Go and watch something else, because honestly, you're boring. Your comments are boring. Go away. Go away. I'm not interested in your opinion. Go away. Go away, because this is important. A lot of people are interested. It's important to have these conversations. And if you don't like it, go and watch something else. I am not interested. I will not sit here and go, oh, I really need you. I really need you to watch. You're a great subscriber. Do me a favour. Go away. I have no interest. If you don't want to listen to what we have to say, go and watch something else. No one's forcing you. No one's forcing you to be here. And that goes to anyone else. If you're not interested, go and watch something else. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. There's a lot of people in the comments who are happy listening to this and are giving really good inputs into it as well. So if you don't like it, go away, because you're the boring one. There you go. Right, we're going to move on to tag in a minute, where we will do half an hour purely on football. Purely on football. Football, Ned.
The FA Cup final tomorrow.
It is, and we will be talking about that. Robert says, what kettle is Ned still wearing?
Kettle? What does that mean?
I have no idea. What kettle? Is that some kind of word that the kids...
Top, Monterex, watch, Lacoste, hairstyle, ginger. What kettle?
Danny says, the no eye contact is classic autism trait. My brother's the same. Yeah. James says...
Eye contact is like my main thing when talking to a bird. Keep eye contact.
No, but your eye contact is weird. It's weird. But that's not even what you do. Your normal eye contact is weird. When you go... That's fucking...
I'm just smiling at you.
You're not.
I'm being polite.
It's so weird. James Wallen says, I don't think DHgate takes discount for having ADHD now.
I don't need discounts on DHgates. It's cheap as chips. Wonder if I won't get the black shorts in time if I get them off DHgate. Will I?
No, you will not get them. Just buy a pair of black shorts. He's still going on about black shorts. He's still going on about black shorts. Cameron A's down with the kids. He says Kettler's watch.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Why can't you just call it a watch?
Lacoste.
When did a watch become a kettle? Sorry,
Kettle's a kettle.
When did a watch become a kettle?
What is this?
What is going on?
What is going on?
What is going on that the kids are calling a watch a kettle?
Am I an old man?
No, he's just from St. Helens.
Oh.
Why kettle, though?
I think I'm in with the Scouse terminology now, though.
Carl says ADHD and that is like the electric brainwaves that have times where they all jump all over the place like people with epilepsy. Yeah, exactly, mate. That's what I'm saying. It's separate from mental health, isn't it? Mental health, as I said, I wouldn't push anyone into taking medication if they, I wouldn't push any. There's lots of good things that you can do. I think Stan Collymore's on Twitter quite a lot, pushing the idea of, because he has really bad mental health, of exercise, and you see him doing the runs and stuff, and he gets grief for running with this top off, which I find mad. He's doing something to help him, and people still give him grief. But he has exercise. Exercise is massively important, but it's really scary sometimes to just do exercise. To get your foot out the door can be really scary, and no one can tell you anything otherwise as well. And also when you, like me, when I had, don't get me wrong, I'm not like super skinny, of course, I'm not 15 stone 10, but I'm skinnier than what I was. And I'm at that level now where I can go and do a 10k without really an issue. But just getting out the door when you are big and you are self-conscious is really difficult as well. I made a conscious decision last year when I came back from my holiday in Wales that I was going to go out, and I started really slow, 2.5k, which was hard for me, and I was going to go out. I was going to get up early, and I was going to go for a run at like 10:30. I was going to go for a run. I was just going to do 2.5k round by ours, and it was a struggle because it was sunny and the seagulls were attacking me, and it was difficult. But then I did it for I think I did it like 4 weeks, Monday to Friday, and give myself the weekends off. Kettle of Scotch watch. I've never heard of that. It's not Scouse. It's Cockney Rangan. I've never even heard that. By the way,
when you say Ruby Murray curry.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
And I went out every day, and I altered some of the runs, where I ran, so that I didn't have to run up hills. So it just made it easier for me. And then I started doing a 5k, and then I did a few 5k. Well, I did a lot of 5ks, and then I decided I wanted to do a 10k, and it was a struggle, but I did it. And once I did it a few times, and then it was like, can I do a half marathon? And it was like, right, if I run. I went for a run. I was like, right, I'm going to run really slow. I'm going to see if I can do 15k. And I did. I was doing the 15k. When I was doing the 15k, I was like, how much more is it to do 10 miles? And that's 16k too, I think. So I did 10 miles. And once I'd done 10 miles, then my brain was like, you can do an half marathon now. That's no issue. You've done 10 miles, so you can do 12 miles, 13 miles. But then a couple of weeks before the half marathon, I was like, can I do a half marathon? So I went out and ran a half marathon to mentally prove to myself. And sometimes you just have to keep challenging yourself. You have to do it. You have to go through the pain. We all want a montage, don't we? We all want that Rocky montage where it's all the shortcuts. We're doing the shortcuts. But there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut, Ned. You're looking for shorts, aren't you?
No.
What are you looking for?
Socks.
There's no shortcuts. I'm sure that's one of the songs, isn't it?
In the burning hearts, just about to burst.
There you go. So it's just that getting out the door. Now, sometimes people might need a bit of medication to get themselves out the door. That's all it is. And it is all mental. All of it's mental when you run, by the way, or you do any kind of exercise. I often have to change where I run. It's weird. It's the same distance, but it's like, oh, I can't run up there because it's like weird. Or I find if I do like a circuit, where I start at my house and finish my house, it's like easier because you know you're finishing outside your house rather than finishing, I don't know, a little bit away from your house, and you've still got, it's all weird, and it's all mental. Running certainly is very mental, so there you go. Right, this has gone off a mad tangent that I never thought we were going to talk about, but there you go. Jester says, I'm 19 stone, but I'm 6'5", so docs have said that's okay. My knees say otherwise. Yeah, that's the problem, mate. When you're tall, you carry weight.
I'm about 12 stone something, and I'm only 5'9". I'm only 5'7". I'm 12 stone. And that's not good.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Carla. Thank you. A lot of watch talk. Doug UK says, I used a weird difference argument to describe the difference between good and evil people. I reckon people can be born evil. What do you think? I have no idea, mate. It's all in, I think that's nature versus nature, isn't it? And all that kind of thing, basically. Lee, I use Strava. That's what I use. I couldn't go for a run without tracking it. I need to know. That's the other thing. I need to know where I've run, how far I've run, my times. I need to know. Don't get me wrong, it's not all about times, and things like Strava can be like I didn't run this, I didn't run that. But it is good for keeping an eye on things. Even if you go for a normal run where you're not like pushing yourself, if you're improving, that's a big thing as well. If you know you're improving your runs, not every day you're going to improve. Some days you're not going to feel great. Some days you're just going to think, I'm just going to go out for a run, and whatever happens, and you surprise yourself. I find running as well is like, you should start really, really slow when you go for a run. But sometimes that temptation to go out fast. You should start really slow and finish strong. What now?
This is off a tangent, but breaking.
Go on.
United having new Stone Roses clothesline,
Clothesline, yeah.
I want Stone Roses clothes.
Can you buy Stone Roses clothes?
You can, but it's never really that good. I got
Become a Man United fan then.
got this lemon white t-shirt, and after one wash, the lemon yellow ran into the white.
Yeah. Ian says best thing about getting up to run to run 10 miles is you can confidently decide to run anywhere. Like, I'm going to town and back, and I'll run to Warrington and get the bus back. Boss, mate. Lee, I don't worry about the weather too much, mate. I've run in all weathers. It doesn't. Only giant puddles are the issue with weather. I'm not really bothered about weather. I will go out in genuinely any weather. It doesn't put me off. I was out in the winter in -2, -3. It didn't bother me one bit. So the weather's not really an issue. I don't factor that in. That'll be different for where you live, of course. Wind is a bastard, especially if it's in your face. It's horrible. But there you go. Right, we're going to go over to more than the game, and we will just be talking about football. I know Baz is pulling his hair out because he says we're not talking about Everton. We have been talking about Everton. We've talked about Everton at the beginning. We've been talking about Everton for the beginning. But we moved on to talking about mental health because we think it's important. Will says there's a free running club, meets every Tuesday, all levels, dockside runners. But where is it? Where?
Isn't that Michael's?
Where does it run? No, that Michael Branches is the Striders. They meet in the mornings on Sundays. Yeah. Lee says riding for me. Yeah, riding's obviously more dangerous in weather, but running I have no problem. Will, where does the dockside runners meet? I'll wait. I'll do one refresh on Toffee TV Premier. DJ Spuddle says Cockneys and their crime culture slang. Bill Cummins says yes, and he needs.
Do you think you'd have the chats?
Bill Cummins says yes, and he absolutely needs to go. I think he's talking about Moshiri. Danny says, I care for my autistic brother and I had to give him 47 tablets a dose now. It's a lot better. 9 tablets a day now. Keeps him calm. Brilliant, Danny. Brilliant. Obviously, it's not good for anyone to be taking that amount of tablets, but if that's what people need, that's just the way it is now. But no, listen, good chat. Important chat. As I said, I just, when people come into the comments, it just annoys me because there is no Everton to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. And if we can talk about mental health and get rid of, like, you know, the stigmas involved, then it's massively important. Massively important. We are a community and no one should feel like they can't talk about anything. Like, I've brought this up because, as I said, Ned can do whatever he wants. He can be whoever he wants. When it affects his work, then it's on me then. It's on me. Find your socks.
I've got that chair, so it's mine.
Yeah.
Not that one, but I've got my own now.
What?
Got my own.
You've bought a chair?
A shirt.
Oh, you've just a chair?
No, that shirt.
Okay.
So it's my own now.
Okay.
So I bought one of them for a few quid.
How much?
£8.
From where?
For that. They were off Vinted, but they were 30.
The Hummel one?
Yeah, they were 35 quid on the classic football shirt.
Is it right?
£8. Never worn. And I got some black Everton football shorts. The
nice
ones from 2014.
Will says Sailors Green Gates in Liverpool won. Brilliant, thank you, mate. He says it's on Facebook and Twitter. I wouldn't be able to make that, unfortunately, because I'd be in here. Lee W says bumped into Duncan and Diamond whilst riding in Formby.
Nice.
In recent years. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. No, listen, thank you for everyone for watching and listening and giving their input. And as I said, I don't suffer fools. And if people come into our chat and start having a go at what we're talking about, well, there's only ever going to be one winner. And guess what? It's me. I'm the only one who's going to win because I've got the button that gets you off my chat. It's as simple as that. I have no time for people who think they can come on to this channel and dictate what we talk about. If it's not positive, if it's not doing something positive, I have no time for you whatsoever, and I will happily just tell you to f*** off. It's as simple as that. because it's not needed, especially when you're talking about really important things that we are struggling to talk about. There's this thing, right, before we finish, there's this thing about men talking about mental health, right? I don't think you'll ever break some men down into just talking about their feelings. It's not what we do. It just isn't what we do. So if we can have a chat about it but have a bit of a laugh about it, that's a different way of doing it. But men will come in. We'll have all come in, the three of us, whoever will have all come in and have problems, and none of us will have said what the problem is. And no matter how long we've been together in this room, there's no way we'd do it. And that's, a lot of men are just like that. They are just like, that's part of our makeup. It really is. So if we can talk about things in a roundabout way, then we'll do that. We'll do that. And if people just want to listen, if people are struggling and they just want to listen and they don't, that's fine. See, Michael, you're talking fucking bollocks. I hate comments like that. Baz needed to be here to reel in Ped on this one. Why? Reel me in on what?
That's nonsense.
Reel me in on what? Why are you fucking Why are you watching? Go away. I hate stuff like that. Reel me in on what? I'm a grown man and I'm talking about important things. Reel me in.
There's
don't watch.
really more important.
Don't watch then. Honest to God. If you don't like it, don't watch. I'm not interested. It doesn't say who's watching, who's not watching. I'm not interested. Reel me in. I find stuff like that massively frustrating. There's people who take a lot of good stuff out of this, and then you get dickheads like that jumping in the comments saying stuff like that. Reel me in. Fuck off and go and watch something else. I'm not interested. I don't need your view. I really don't. And I don't really need your snide little shitty comments either. Absolutely pathetic. And you'll be binned like all the other people who've said stupid things, because it's not needed. You can pick me up on me Everton opinions. You can pick me up on me film opinions, me TV opinions, me political opinions, all you want. But don't come on here being snide about something that's massively important. That's people's health and people just having a chat. It's not. And listen, Baz might sit there and tell me not to talk to someone like this, but no, fuck you. Honestly, absolutely pathetic. And if you don't understand why, then you're an idiot. It's as simple as that. You're an absolute idiot. This is why people struggle to talk about their feelings. This is why people fucking kill themselves. This is why people end up on their own, on the streets, because they have no one to talk to. And if people feel like they can talk to me through a screen and I can talk back to them, then honestly, that's the best thing I've ever done. Honestly, that's the best thing I've ever done for anybody. Because ultimately, my football opinions don't mean anything to anybody. But if something I say or something Ned says or something Baz says can help someone positively out there, then that's all I care about, honestly. That's all I care about. So keep your fucking shite opinions and go and watch something else, honestly. And to everyone who has watched, who is saying nice things, thank you very much, and thank you for your input. And I know Baz massively wants to do like a 24-hour stream where we do it all for mental health, and we will do something. We will do that at some point. We will do something like that. But what we don't need is people who don't have any education on this, who are ignorant to it, who are snide, who don't understand people's rights to who they want to be. And that's what we're seeing a lot in the world now. Kids being told what they can and can't be. It's absolute nonsense. If a kid wants to be anything, let them be. If that's what makes them feel like a normal person, whatever normal is anymore, I don't know what normal is, then so be it. We've got far too many people in this world telling us what we can and can't be just because it doesn't suit them. A lot of old white men in suits telling us all what we should all conform to be, and it's utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. You be whatever you want to be, and we'll support you, certainly on our channel. Don't be a red. I mean, that would be mad. Don't identify as a red. There you go. Sorry. That stuff like that really winds me up, though. It really winds me up. Really does wind me up. There you go. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We're going to go over to M-Tag now, and it'll just be like that. We'll just be talking about footy. So, nice one. Nice one to everyone for watching. Nice one for everyone for commenting. Brilliant as always. This community is brilliant, and it's so strong, and you do look after each other.
Yeah, it keeps you through the season.
And honestly, the amount of people who say you got me through the season. No, you've got us through the season, because it's a two-way conversation. You're out there typing, and we're looking, and we're reading, and we are honestly. And people come up to us after the match, and they feel like they know us, and they go, oh, so and so. And we're like, oh yeah, we get to know you just through your comments. It's massively important, massively important. So, and we've been doing it for 10 years, and that's the other thing. We're 10 years strong, as they say, 10 years strong doing this. So, it's been again right. We'll be back. Toffee TV Tuesday. We're having Monday off. Baz is already on holiday. Ned's probably got a gig.
Not at the moment, Monday.
Get yourself a gig.
I probably will do.
Get yourself some money.
I'm meant to be meeting up with Cam, actually. I'm not staying for the few months.
There you go. Just do something nice. Do something nice. Don't have a gig then. Do something nice for yourself. Go out, go for a nice walk or something. Or go out on Sunday night and
little hike.
And have a lie-in on Monday.
Right. Or Sunday, I've got a big festival.
There you go. Big where? Plug it.
It's Millstone. I've got Darwin. I'm doing Darwin Live Festival with the band on Saturday, which is meant to be the biggest free festival ever in the UK. So I'm doing that with the band. It's an early afternoon slot, about 5 o'clock. And then I'm doing Millstone Rocks in Goulburn on Sunday with the band. Big stage, always a big crowd, a few hundred in the crowd. It's free. And then we'll be on about 3 o'clock. And then after, we'll just be
brilliant
drinking.
Good luck to you. Enjoy yourself. There you go. Right, we're going over to Toffee TV, and yeah, it's over to Toffee TV, over more than a game. And yes, on Toffee TV, men can be women, women can be men, dogs can be cats, and sheep can be elephants. It does not matter one tiny bit. You be whoever you need to be to make you happy, and as long as it's not hurting anybody else, it does not matter. Simple as that. Right, join us over on More Than a Game, where we'll be talking about the FA Cup final and some of the managerial stuff going on and everything else. Thanks for watching. See you later.